Thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because ye would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him, he will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments, which I command thee this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant, and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. And he will love thee, and bless thee, and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eye shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, but that will be a snare unto thee. If thou shalt say in thine heart, These nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt, the great temptations which thine eyes saw, and the signs and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing this word of truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. All right. So we made it to Daniel, the 10th chapter, and in this chapter, he gives a visit, from the king, which that's Yahweh Shah. Okay. So just like, certain directors, okay, or writers of certain, series, they will make, a cameo appearance in the movie. All right. In this chapter, we get a cameo, okay, from Yahweh Shai, which he appears, through the scriptures, several times, first, beginning as Adam, okay, Isaac, even before Isaac, the angel, that came to Abraham, that told him that, he would have a son. He was pretty much telling Abraham he was going to have him. Okay, if you can receive it. That's why he told, the certain leaders, the scribes and the Pharisees, how Abraham delighted, to see a day and seen it, is when he was Isaac. Okay, King Solomon. All right, what you had him come, is Melchizedek. And he comes to visit Daniel. Okay, Daniel, is going on a particular fast. You know, so let's get into it. We'll expound as we read. Going a few things I want to go into. So, um, let's get Daniel 10:1. Lord will you brothers and you sisters are edified. Now this is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belshazzar, and that the thing was true. But the time appointed was long, and he understood. All right, he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh or wine in my mouth, neither did any, all right, neither did I anoint myself with oil till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled, you know? And this is where you get, the Daniel fast, which, is a fast that's, you got some Christians, that's into fasting. And the Daniel fast is a popular fast. Even amongst those that are on a weight loss journey. They get into the Daniel fast. Okay, and you hear about this Daniel fast a lot. But this is where it's deprived from. The length of the fast is 3 full weeks. And what's not allowed. Is in verse 3. No bread. Neither came any flesh nor wine. All right, which is meat. Okay, no wine. Neither did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. And on that fast is mainly, is a raw. For the most part, it's a raw fast. Okay, vegetables, fruits. No sugars. Okay, because Daniel was in mourning. So he didn't eat. Any comfort foods. Okay, so that's something that you brothers and you sisters are interested in. It's a spiritual thing. You know, I wouldn't jump right into it if you never did any type of intermittent fasting, or if you have not already been on some type of health journey. You're not savvy with the health, because it's a 3 week duration. So it can get pretty tough. All right, if you're not used to refraining from certain things, because you detox from sugar. About the 4th day, you experience fatigue. Okay, but it's a lot of health benefits that come with it. And most of all, it's spiritual. Because we do these things, for clarity, for closeness, for prayers to be answered. Okay, and Daniel was doing this for prayers to be answered, and it shows you that Daniel did have discipline with his diet. All right, because you go back here to Daniel, the first chapter. It's according to your lifestyle. Don't never just jump into anything extreme. But this is Daniel. All right, chapter 1. Okay, verse 6. It says, now among these were the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Okay. Um. Yep. And say verse 7 says, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave Daniel the name of Belshazzar, Hananiah, Shadrach, and Mishael, of Meshach, and Azariah, of Abednego. All right, but Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. So he rejected, the king's meat and wine. And we went over this in the first chapter. Ultimately he was, rejecting, being conformed, to his captivity. You know, he wanted to continue on in the way, that he was accustomed to, which not saying that, Daniel, never ate meat or drank wine, because this is a lot of time. Okay. 'Cause like Daniel was maybe 17, during this time, Daniel the first chapter. All right, we're reading Daniel the 10th chapter. All right, in the third year of Cyrus, Daniel probably could be close to 90, because remember, this is during Nebuchadnezzar. So Daniel served, during king of, okay, every king of Babylon. All right, then he served, under Darius, then Cyrus, so, total it up, it's 8 kings. Okay, so Daniel, he's been around that whole time. Ultimately, the spirit of the Lord preserving him, you know, and then he had he had a disciplined diet. Okay, well that's not to say that he never partook in meat and wines. All right, but he didn't indulge in anything, which we're gonna get in the apocrypha. This is Daniel 1:10. It says, and the prince of the eunuchs said to Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who have appointed your meat and your drink, for why should he see your faces worse, all right, likened than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me in danger, all right, my head, all right, to the king. Then said Daniel to Melzar, all right, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us post to eat, okay, going to vegetable, all right, and water to drink. Then let our countenance be looked upon for thee, and the countenance of the children that eat the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he said, well, look, give us 10 days. Just serve us, these vegetables, probably fruits and nuts. Okay. Just feed us that and water. Okay. And then see how our countenance is. And we know, the fruit was much more potent. Okay. And in these times, the fruit have way more, nutritions. Okay. And minerals than this time. Okay. So verse 14 says, so he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Okay. So he was in, they was in a better off condition. They was more healthy, and, had that glow, from the diet, which as we, mature in this faith, we should grow into some type of discipline, with our diet, everybody according, to their ability, and it says, and at the end of 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them posts. Okay, so it doesn't, expound, how long they was on their diet. Okay, but hey, this is, what they was given, for a certain duration. All right, and it said verse 17, and as for these 4 children, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. And Esdras, he was on the, because your diet will put you on another frequency, man. There's certain things that, are meant to be sustainable, certain diets, it's not meant for you to go on for a long time. Okay. But, for a period of time, you kind of afflict yourself. Okay. And, it puts you on a frequency, man. Intermittent fasting. Like I say, you start off with what's comfortable. You might start off doing, 12 and 12. Okay. Then you take a little bit off the morning, a little bit off the evening, as you can go, and work your way down from there. But, this is not health advice, just putting a perspective out there. But the Apocrypha, it backs, these things up, and we in hell, things, we have to be mindful, and the best way to eat, if you can, is to try to eat from the source, your farmers markets, you know, your different, local farmers, try to get as close to the source as possible, because, Esau has, infused so much low quality, into, these box, grocery stores, that you just, have to, try to get close to the source, if you can, if not, the Lord's mercy, is sufficient. Okay, but let's go here. You know, this is yep, as this scripture say, the verse of the day, what time I am afraid I will trust in thee. Psalms 56:3, because hey, we riding out mercy, man. Okay. We try our best with these diets, but at the end of the day, it's the Lord mercy that's, sustaining us, but it is wise, to have a care, I think it's 23, 20, maybe 25. Yep, this is Sirach 30:25. It says, a cheerful and a good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. Okay, a cheerful and good heart or mind will have a care for his meat and diet. And because, the American, diet, which is called SAD, standard American diet, hey, it puts you in a certain, it make you groggy, eating all those meats, clogging up your digestive system, because meat ain't wicked, and like I say, when you eat meats, it'd be best if you can go to the source, because meat, is very beneficial to the body, but this society just, gives you poor quality meat, okay, and you overeat the poor quality meat, okay. Then Esau infuses so much madness, into, you know, his food products, okay, that your body can't recognize it, all these foreign, aids, in the foods, until your body can't recognize it, man. So, you know, you don't want to overindulge, what you're going to get that, but when it says will have care for his meat and diet, it goes beyond the meat. It goes to everything that you eat, these sugars, all right, these processed sugars, because natural, there's food that has natural, flavoring, that, herb, fruits, agave, certain things, all those things are natural flavors, dates, they're sweet as hell. Okay. So, everything we eat, when we eat, we should have some type of care, and we ain't gonna always be able to have, stick to a certain standard, you know, but for the most part, it's just good to, practice, trying to do better with the diet, and it benefits, I haven't been eating a lot of meat lately, going on different cleanses, detoxes, okay, but it's different benefits, man, like, better sleep, better, digestive movement, clarity, you see, because your body isn't working so hard, trying to break down, all this, digesting the meat, you know. But this sums it up here. It says, this is Psalms 37:27. It says, my son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. Because our bodies are different, so it's not no uniform way to eat, because one thing about when you go on different journeys, weight loss and, health journeys, and, you learn about your body, and you learn about your body, you know, and you understand, what's good for it and what's not. Okay, some brothers, can got a high, natural metabolism. Some brothers don't. Some brothers can operate off, you know, um, one meal a day. Some brothers can't. You see, some brothers can eat, you know, more plant based. Some brothers might thrive in keto or whatever. But you try things out, with caution. Be cautious, okay, and see what's good for your soul. What's good, what's nourishing unto you, what's beneficial, what's sustainable, for you. All right. Verse 28 said, "For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not, all right, unsatiable," which means that you're not able to be satisfied. Okay. So you can say, "Be not unsatisfied in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats." Okay. So, the sweets, all right, was I say, there's, natural desserts. Really, like, you get into this thing, man, the earth really has everything, man. Okay, Esau was just a middleman that poisons everything, But when you get into it, the earth, has everything. The things that they push is not healthy, man. Really, naturally, they're healthy, man. Okay, but Esau is just a wicked middleman, destroying, you know, what's good, as we're going to get into, and Sirach as well said, "For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatisfiable, okay, in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meat. For excess meats bring of sickness, and so fighting will turn into choler." All right, which is pretty much, your body. Let's get this word choler. I think I looked it up. All right, look this word up, choler. Pretty much it goes into an irritation. You know, your stomach, irritated. Stomach sickness. It's the feeling of eating too much. Cramps. Okay, and it says by surfing it. All right, which is overdoing something. Have many perish. All right, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life, man. And like I say, Daniel was serving, like he was, moving. He had to be still moving around good, in his older age, man. You know. So Daniel, let me see if he can give us some. Mm-mm. So it says here, so you got some scholars say that he was 85 years old when he died. He was 70 years old when he was thrown into the lion's den. Which the Lord preserved him. Just from that fall. So he came into captivity at 17. You know, and it's got him dying. Around 85. And it's give or take. Okay, but he was pretty much he served the king. You know, for at least 65 years. Plus. Okay, and Isaiah had a discipline, diet, and ultimately the Lord was preserving him. Okay, because the Lord put the spirit on him to eat, like he was eating. And Isaiah, we don't know for sure, how long he was on these particular, way of eating, uh, how much, wine and meat that he did eat, as he was disciplined, with it. All right. What you go here, as I was speaking on, all right, earlier. I think it might be 20. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse. I started at 25. It says, For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. Okay, and when you go into the beginning, it's Yahweh Shai, all right, and the rest of the Alahayim, all right, the angels, okay, that was in the beginning creating everything. They created the minerals, okay, they created the concept of a metabolism, okay, proteins, and, nutrients to go in particular foods. That was why it was a wisdom of what to eat and what not to eat. Because there was already things within, the foods created, okay, for the benefit, of the people, man. Okay, animals, had their certain, order. Okay, verse 26, it says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grape, okay, and oil and clothing. Okay, and you look at all these things, this man has ruined water. Okay, he used fire and iron to do what? Create weaponry. All right, and those things were used, all right, to create gardening, tools. Okay, through fire and iron. Fire was used to heat in the house, cooking. You know, like that's why the food on the grill, tastes different. You smoke some meat, it tastes different. It hit different. You see, those what they call those brick oven, pieces. Okay, so fire, was supposed to be for the good of man. All right, this man, all right, Esau built a nuke. You see, this nigga built a whole nuke. Okay, it says in salt. Okay, which he's tainted that. Flour of wheat, tainted. Honey, tainted. Milk, tainted. Blood of the grape, which is wine, tainted. Okay, oil, all these, BS oils, that people cook with. Okay, tainted, man. And clothing. Okay, that's tainted, man. You look at certain materials, even certain clothing materials decrease a man's testosterone. It's like, God damn. But these things in their natural state are all good. And that's one of the things I look forward to as well, man. Everything going back, to giving this strength, man, to, being able to operate in this purpose, man. Nothing can operate in this true purpose under Esau Edom, man. All right. Verse 27 says all things are good to the godly. Okay, because the godly will have the wisdom and how to use these things for their good use. Okay, with this devil, so the sinners, they are turned into evil, man. This man turns everything into evil, man. Okay, even cocaine, man. Okay, the coca leaf, it has its use. Okay, but this man, cocaine. Like, goddamn. The poppy leaf, it has its use. But what does Esau do? Hair run. Okay? All right, he's a madman, and this is why, he must be removed from power, man. Okay? So let's go back to Daniel, the 10th chapter. Just want to go into that. Like I say, everybody, like I say, the scripts say, prove your soul, learn your body, and do what's best for it. All right, because we, We know we're gonna get new bodies, but in the meantime, we here. Our spirit is here in these bodies, man. So we wanna, you know, do the best maintenance we can. And it's all toward the benefit of the ministry. Like the clarity, energy, man. That should be, geared towards the ministry. Okay, verse 4 says, and then 4 and 20th day of the first month, as I always, it says, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Hiddekel, then I lifted up my eyes and looked and beheld a certain man clothed in linen, all right, whose loins were girded with fine gold, all right, of Upas, all right, his body also like the beryl, okay. So now he's seeing Yahweh Shai, so he's seeing him that he's clothed in linen, all right, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Upas, all right, so his girdle was gold, and his body, which is speaking the color of his garment, was like the beryl, and his face has the appearance of lightning, and his eyes, okay, he had that glow, and his eyes as the lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like the fine color to polished brass, okay, and the voice, all right, of his words like the voice of a multitude. And see, this is how, he's described, Yahweh Shai is described in Revelation, and this segue into back to the basics, you know, um, Revelation 1 and 13. All right, Revelation 1 and 13, it says, in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like the Son of Man, clothed a garment down to the foot, and girded about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs, okay, were white like wool. So it goes into different details, but you see, okay, he had a garment, all right, down to the foot, but Daniel tells you the color of the garment. And he had a girt about the paps with a golden girdle, which Daniel describes that golden girdle. And his head and his hairs are white like wool, so it gives you the color of his hair and the texture. Okay, white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes was a flame of fire. All right, so Daniel, this is the same thing that Daniel seen, and his feet, all right, like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Okay, so Daniel and John, the revelators, seen, Yahweh Shai in this fashion. Okay, and that's why you get the depiction, which when we you see brothers with this image at camp, okay, on the sign, all right, well, this is scriptural. Now this isn't the exactly, we don't know exactly how he looks, okay, but this is biblically accurate, okay, as far as his, his color, because brass, burnt, okay, because brass is already, shade of brown, like a golden brown, okay, like a darker hue of brown. But then if it's burnt, it's going to be, dark, even darker, man. Okay, so when you got this image, well, we don't worship this image. This is just, hey, for truth's sakes, man. Okay, so you see the green garment, okay, which represents his body of beryl. All right, you see the golden girdle, okay, and you see a garment, to the foot. Okay, so when you combine the description of Revelation, all right, chapter 1, verses 13 through 15, and Daniel chapter 10, verses 5 through 6, this is a depiction. Okay, now sometimes brothers, you got certain pictures, brothers do too much. Okay, but just this is biblically, accurate. When you go into the picture, the image of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and so we don't know exactly, how he looks, but that's accurate depiction based on biblical descriptions. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to get that. All right. Yeah. So let's go back to Daniel. Okay. All right. Daniel chapter 10 and verse 7. It says, "And I Daniel alone saw the vision, for the man that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, so that they fled, to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone and saw this great vision, and there remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned, all right, into corruption, and I retained no strength." So when you read this in Daniel 7, it says, "And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the man that with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, so that they fled to hide themselves." And that's similar to when Yahushua came to Paul. Okay, when you get the book of Acts, chapter 22, all right, verses 6 to 9. Paul, that road to Damascus. Okay, as he's telling their story. All right, this is Acts 22:6. It says, "It came to pass as I made my journey," and this Apostle Paul speaking, giving an account of the road to Damascus. "And I was come nigh unto Damascus about noon. Suddenly there shone from heaven a great light round about me. And I fell into the ground and heard a voice saying unto me, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And I answered, I said, Who art thou, Lord? And he said unto me, I am Yahushua of Nazareth, whom thou persecuted. And they that were with me said, Indeed, all right, saw indeed the light and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spake, all right, to me." Okay, so they saw the light and were afraid, but they didn't hear the voice, okay, of Yahushua, as the Apostle Paul did. So you had Apostle Paul and other men with him, but only Apostle Paul, got the full effect of that visit. Okay, just like Daniel, he's the only one that got the full effect, okay, of that visit, of Yahushua. So I, read that. I said it's similar to, what happened to Paul when Yahushua came to him. Okay, this is back in Daniel 10:9. It says, "Yeah," he said, "Yet heard I the voice of his words, and when I heard the voice of his words, then was I in deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. And behold, an hand touched me, which set me up on my knees and upon the palms of my hand. And he said unto me, all right, he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved." You know, you see, and this is, spoken of Daniel a few times, man. And this is the report, that we want, you know, and this is Yahushua telling Daniel this, man. So that Daniel was beloved, man. The Father, spoke highly of Daniel. You know, you see, and this is the report we want. You know, and it says, "Understanding the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee I am sent." And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me, "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before the Most High, thy words were heard, and I am come, okay, for thy words." So from the first day, Daniel started, to afflict himself on this particular fast, okay, his prayers were heard, okay, and that just speaks, you know, to other precepts that go into that. All right, let's get this. All right, and because the Lord hears the prayers of his elect, man. of his people. Okay? All these prayers, that are constantly going up. The Lord is listening, man. And he's gonna act. And that's why time is going so fast, man. June felt like a week, but the Lord is speeding these things up, man, because he's finna answer these prayers. Because the prayers of the elect gonna be of the same fashion, man. You might have different, circumstances where, you need, certain personal things, personal, battles, but it's gonna be mostly about, endurance, faith, and the end of this place, man, and the ushering in of the throne of David. You know, hey, the return of Yahweh, judgment on wickedness, man. Okay, and the Lord is speeding this thing up. 1 Peter 3:12 said, "For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto the prayers." All right, but the face of the Lord is against them, that do evil. Okay, so the eyes of the Lord, which are the chariots, are over the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. So the Lord is listening, man. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil, man. And the prayer of the righteous is praying for judgment on evil, man. Okay, and you go here to Revelation 8. Okay, and all right, I started at 3. It says, Revelation 8:3 says, "And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne." Okay, so the prayers, of the saints are going before the throne. Okay, they're going to Yahweh, and from Yahweh to the Heavenly Father. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before, all right, the Most High out of the angel's hand, and he took the censers and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. Okay, because the main thing that we're praying for is their destruction, man. And there was voices and thunders and lightnings and earthquake, man. Okay, so as we're praying, those prayers of destruction is going up to the Most High, from his saints, his believers, the sheep of Yahweh. Okay, they're going to the throne. Okay, and eventually what came down, all right, was fire, okay, to the earth, man. And that's going to be prayers answered, as it says here. All right, Revelation 18, 20. All right, Revelation 18 and 20. It said, "Rejoice over her, and the her is America, thou heaven," okay, the host of heaven, the angels, "and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her." And that's going to be through the destruction, man, through this war and through Yahweh Shai returning in those chariots, man. Okay, and that's going to be prayers answered, man. Okay, and it's in Daniel, prayers, made into the heavens. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's get this in. That's why Yahweh Shai told us what, man. All right, Luke 18. Okay, and 1. And it says, "And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought to always pray and not to faint, man." And the best time to pray, when prayers are potent, okay, is when we're, fasting, Like I said, even, you do a Daniel fast, even if you do a 7-day, okay, you do a 3-day, you do what you can, Hey, and it's prayers become more potent during fasting, man, because the Lord sees, he's serious, she's serious, So fasting, which makes us more like the angels, okay. Uh, it magnifies, it intensifies those prayers, man. I say everybody, according to their ability. But this is what our forefathers would do. Like I say, these things have become, a trend in this society. But, Daniel was doing this, based on, the condition of his people. He was in captivity, and our forefathers are always wondering, when, the kingdom, that eternal kingdom will be established, man. you know, and they seen, our people in their lower state, man, and they were fast, man, to get, insight, of when, how long, and Daniel was getting those visions, okay, and they was answering his prayers, okay. So let's go here just to prove that, though. Let's get this in the book of Tobit. All right, the book of Tobit, chapter 12. All right, Tobit 12, and yeah, prayers 12. It's like Tobit 12 and 8. It says prayer is good with fasting. All right, and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. All right, and it says prayer is good with fasting. That's a powerful combination. All right, that prayer, okay, and fasting, man. And those prayers, okay, are being brought to the Heavenly Father, man, as we fast in sincerity. And then we got to do it according to the name. No prayers are being answered in Christ, man. Okay? The Lord not dealing, okay, with Christ. All right? Or any other name outside of Yahweh, all right, and Yahweh Shai. Now, this is Raphael as he revealed himself unto Tobias. Okay, this is Tobit 12 and 15. It says, I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels which present the prayers of the saints, okay, and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One. Okay, so Raphael or Rapai Allah, okay, healer of the Most High, okay, um, is one of the archangels, who presents prayers before the throne. Okay, and now, everything goes through Yahweh Shai. Okay, well, those prayers are being sent to the throne when we, pray in sincerity, man, and in faith. And what James said, to pray, without wavering. Okay, so let's get this. We pray for what we need as we mature, in the faith, man. We see our prayers mature in everything, man. Like we just pray really for what we need. A daily bread is the Lord's prayer. That's a potent prayer within itself. You know, let's get this. Get Sirach 17, 18. Okay, it's Sirach 17 and 18. It says the prayer. This means 17. Sirach 35 and 17. It says the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Okay, via the angels, until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment, man. And hey, we'll never be comfortable until the Most High, hey, judge this place, man. That's why it's not meant for us to be comfortable. We're meant to continue to cry out, okay, until that judgment is executed, man. Then it's going to be an eternal joy, celebration, you know. Verse 18, for the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient toward them, till he have smitten in son of the loins of the unmerciful, beginning with Esau, Edom, man. all right, and repay vengeance to the heathen. So he have taken away the multitude of the proud and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, man. Okay, as the scriptures say, give the Lord no rest until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And Jerusalem won't be a praise until this current, all right, wicked rulership, is plucked up. It's completely destroyed, man, and rooted out the earth. Okay, and the heathen in captivity, man. Then Jerusalem will be a praise under Yahweh Shah, man, in those new bodies. Okay, but we know that this destruction has come first, man. And I can guarantee that's the main thing that's being prayed for, amongst the elect. All right, is the complete obliteration, okay, of this kingdom, man. And making America a desert. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's go back to Daniel, um, chapter 10. Daniel 10 and I think start at 12 again. And then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy power. Thy words were heard, and I came for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 20 days, 20 days, with those 21 days, which that was the length. Daniel was on that certain, fast. It says, below Michael, one of the chief prince, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Okay, so that was tasked, dealing, because scriptures say, the Lord ruleth in the kingdoms of men. Okay, he manipulates the mind, all right, of the kings of the earth through the angels, man. Okay, and the Lord just had it set up, for 21 days, and that was a test of Daniel's faith, his patience. Okay, because the Lord can snap his fingers and get, what he want done, but he plays things out in dramatic ways, for particular purposes, man. The Lord is very tedious, and calculated how he moves. Okay, verse 14. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days. And when he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground and became dumb. And behold, one like the similitude of the Son of Men touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spake and said unto him that stood before me, O my Lord, my vision, my sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can the servant, all right, or this my Lord, talk with this my Lord? For as for me, straightway there remain no strength in me, neither is there breath in me. So he was fatigued. He's having these visions. He's in a distress about the situation of his people. you know So he's like, man, he's looking at our people like, how are we going to get to the promise of our forefathers in this condition, man? Okay, so what did Yahweh Shah do? Said, then there came again and touched me, all right, one like the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me. Okay, and see, we're going to be strengthened. All right, as it says in Isaiah. All right, and we're going to get that too. I think Yahweh Shah, he had to be strengthened. When it was time for him to go on the cross. Okay, when he went on his, 40-day fast, he had to be strengthened from on high. All right, this is Isaiah 40, and 29, it says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, He increases strength, man. And it's going to happen right on time. It's going to happen now, because He has, because we as a people, man, without this word, man, we imagine Esau and these enchantments without this word, without the Lord reserving a remnant. That's why He say, if He hadn't left a remnant, we would have been in Sodom and Gomorrah, man. We'll be completely finished, man, as a people, if the Lord didn't leave a remnant, if He didn't send, the power of His word through the remnant. Okay? And we in a position, even, as we teach, man, we're being wore out. Okay? But in due time, man, the Lord is going to, because we got phases. The Lord sent just enough power, for the circumstance we in. Okay? And as things intensify, as the devil gets ready to make his move, the Lord is going to increase that power, man. Okay? So it said Isaiah 40 and 29, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, He increases strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary. So a man in his best condition in his prime gets weary in his flesh. Okay, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord, okay, and this is in this time now, man, as we wait, because we're gonna be in times, man. It might be some times where we might be weakened due to lack of eating. Okay, but we're promised, to we're gonna be in a circumstance where we in marry and have abundance, man. But we're gonna have to wait on Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay, in His time, all right. Daniel, he didn't have no time period on when he would go through that fast, man. But the Lord stretched it out. There might be a time where we're eating the same thing, the bare minimum every day, man, until abundance kicks in, man. Okay? But that's all, due to the Lord. Okay? And it's all a test of faith. Okay? And ultimately, man, as we wait for that salvation, we're going to be changed, man. That permanent renewal of strength, man. It said, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint, man. Okay, and this is ultimately us in the new bodies, man, the end game. Okay, and this is what we're being prepped for, man. Okay, so yeah, I spoke on we know the counsel with Yahweh Shai. Okay, he had to be matter of fact, I get it. Because we're gonna need strength from on high, in these times. Okay, so this is Luke 4:1. It says, and Yahweh Shai, being full of the Holy Spirit, returned from Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, man. And a lot of times, like I say, the Spirit will guide us to these particular, diets, when it's time to lay off particular things, and, put the drink down for a while, because that's another thing the scriptures say, wine is good for a man if he be drunken in moderation. So everything has its balance, and like I say, when you don't indulge in something all the time, it's more pleasurable when you do partake in, it says being 40 days tempted of the devil, and in those days he did eat nothing, so this was more intense. Okay, and when they were ended, he afterward hungered, and the devil said unto him, if thou be the son of the Most High, command this stone that it be made bread. And Yahweh Shai answering him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. Okay, so he's being tempted, but he's still having what he's weakened in the flesh. Okay, but he's strong in the spirit. Like I say, certain diets, certain diets, they put you in the spirit. But ultimately, the Lord has to be dealing anyway, because you got, niggas that go on particular diets. People of the world go on particular diets, but the Lord is already dealing. It can heighten that experience, man. It says, in the devil taking him up into a high mountain, showing unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and whomsoever I will give it. If thou wilt therefore, if thou therefore wilt worship me, all right, all shall be thine. And this is the circumstances that people are going to be in when Esau presents this chip, this sea hip, all right, as salvation. So hey, Satan is coming at Yahweh Shah with these false salvations, man. When he's weak in the flesh, but he's strong in the spirit. Okay, and that's why he keeps giving spiritual responses, man. Okay, and Yahweh Shah answered and said to him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve, man. And see, that's the law we're going to have to keep in these times when the sea hip is mandated, man. Everybody pushing the law, okay? But at the same time, you're not pushing the sea hip. If you do teach it, you don't teach it, you don't harp on it, okay? And then you got people that teach the law but don't teach what the sea hip is. Okay, which that's going to be, all right, we're going to be in these circumstances, man. Not bow the knee, bend the knee to Baal. Okay, it says, and he brought him to Jerusalem and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, if thou be the son of the Most High, cast thyself down from hence. For it is written, he shall give his angel charge over thee to keep thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up. This is Psalm 91. Least at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. And Yahweh answered and said unto him, it is said that thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed, all right, for a season. Okay. So Yahweh was tempted. Okay. But he didn't give in. And he was in the state, of fasting. Okay, because that's when Esau knows that people are going to be vulnerable due to lack of, all right, lack of food. Well, that's when we gotta trust. You see, that's when we gotta trust, man. Okay, so that's the point. Just want to bring that out. Lord will, you brothers, okay, and you sister edify once again, and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, that will honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations, hopefully, Shalom.